Boom, we're live. September 23, 2018. Welcome to the Powerful Komiksman podcast.
Uh, okay, so this is always the tawag doon, awkward part ng podcast yung opening. So I just have a few things to say. So just a few reminders, which is anyway, you can see on screen naman to visit comicsman.com for more episodes and for ang dami na naming episodes. Maybe this is the 15th or 17th episode with the guest. And also follow at Comicsman in Twitter and Instagram. And also, please subscribe to the new YouTube channel because walang nagsusubscribe. And also, please, especially in this episode, join the conversation by typing the comment. I'll be monitoring the comments in here. Meron akong cellphone dito. And uh, if you have anything that you would like to ask or you have any comments about the conversation, please comment and let us know. And yun muna.
Alright.
Without further ado, this man right across the table sa akin is one of my dream as an MMA fan, as a Pinoy MMA fan especially, a dream guest. And hindi ko alam kung anong tamang ginawang nangyari sa buhay ko at umuo siya para umunta dito, and I'm deeply honored, really honored na nandito siya, Mr. Alvin Aguilar.
Hey, thank you very much for having me here. Thank you.
So of course, Alvin is the chief and founder of the Universal Reality Combat Championship, URCC, the first ba?
Yeah, the first in Southeast Asia.
Wow, so, diba? That's quite an, diba? That's a huge thing, diba? And you are also the first Pinoy
To get a black belt.
to get a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
First homegrown, yeah.
Yeah. Woo! Anyway, I'm sure, hindi ko alam kung if you've been asked this plenty of times in interviews, pero can you tell us kung paano mo nagpisan yung URCC? I'm sure a lot of people.
Okay. All right. I was always doing martial arts when I was younger,
Mhm.
and then what we do is we found out that not every martial art is complete. So we'd always train, and we'd always test our martial arts. So what we would do is we would, aside from testing it out on each other, we'd ask other people to come and spar with us. We'd have underground fights. And then with the underground fights, we would see na pag may natalo, may napipikon.
Mhm.
Napipikon, babawi in other ways. So it became really violent. I mean, after this, people started bringing out knives and guns and sticks, and then no, dami nasaktan. So we decided no, we have to clean this up because magaling mga Filipino martial artists. And then during this time, I discovered the Gracies. So I went and trained with the Gracies, the Gracie family, who were the founders of the UFC.
Yes.
After I trained with them, I said, if you can since they made it work in the US, that there's a UFC, it was mainstream,
Mhm.
I think I can make it work here also. Of course, when I started the URCC, everybody was saying, di mangyari yan dito, bawal yan, whatever. Walang mag-sponsor yan, walang mag-sanction yan, and everything. So I didn't listen to anybody. So I did what we had to do. And then that's when we had the URCC. Now we have our Filipino mixed martial artists who are one of the best around the world. And
Oh, wow.
sky's the limit now.
And it's now URCC Global,
Yes.
which means in how many countries?
Okay, we've already had events in China and in the US. Next year we'll be in Vegas in the MGM. We're going to be bringing a lot of mainstream American fighters. Aside from that, we'll have our Filipino fighters and Asian fighters. So it's not just going to be centered in Southeast Asia. We're really going around the world this time.
Wow, MGM? You're
Yes.
booking MGM next year?
Yes.
Wow!
Who would think that?
Yeah, di ba? That's
Dati
amazing.
away lang sa kalye, tapos biglang, we made it mainstream, now we're in Vegas.
That's fantastic. So, you mentioned yung mga away-away that, when was this? When did you start? Kailan nagsimula yung mga ganun?
Okay, this started around the 90s with peak yan. Because before that, the ones that were really heavy into martial arts groups before was Yoyan, and there's Bakbakan, and there's Sarian.
Mm-hmm.
So, after that, we just got along, and then, trained, learned from each other. This was around the 90s also, the 90s. Yung 90s.
Early 90s?
Yeah, early 90s. Yan ang sobrang gulo talaga. Because
And you were how old?
I was 18, 17.
Oh, okay.
So I was an instructor when I was 18 years old already.
Mm.
So
In what?
in Sarian.
Sarian.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I made it a point na yun ang ginagawa ko. I said I'd go home, whatever we train, I'd go home, I'd train again. And after that, I'd write down notes, and then I'd buy all the books sa National Bookstore. Tapos sa martial arts books, babasahin ko. As in, talagang
Buti meron.
Buti meron, di ba? Before, National Bookstore used to have a lot of martial arts books. Again, wala na.
Okay, sinong mga authors
They
nung-
had, ang dami. They had Masuyama Kyokushinkai, they had Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do, they had Wally J's Small Circle Jiu-Jitsu. Ang dami. They even had a judo book before. So, I made sure that I immersed myself in all of the martial arts studies, and then,
Mhm. Wow. So, bakit were you in a martial arts family or
No.
saan ka?
Well, my grandfather was a hardcore martial artist.
Mhm.
My father also taught me arnis and when we were younger. But then I started martial arts at 9 years old
Okay.
because I watched the ninja movies and I wanted to become like that. The Suzuki movies, and then from there we just kept. I just kept learning and training and everything: boxing, wrestling, stick fighting, Carlos Hermanos. I just never stopped learning because the time that you think that you know everything, that's when you don't know anything. So you always have to keep learning and learning. And if you're not trying to improve yourself, you're going down.
Yeah, ano pa rin yun, Socratic paradox. Diba? The only thing you know is that you don't know. So parang, I'm really interested. One of the stories, kasi meron akong nabasa dati na sa FHM yata yun. Basta somewhere in a magazine with an interview with you, yung kinukwento about yung violent phase ng Pinoy combat sports.
Oh, yeah.
Is it, if you can call it combat sports back then? So how would you describe that?
It's like half combat sports and half street fighting.
Street fighting. Isang ginagawa yun?
Like all over Makati, all over these bars in the north. But basically, Makati, Pasay Road before used to be like real. Talagang that's where Mars was. That's where the old Peps was. So almost every weekend meron doon.
Talaga?
Yeah.
As in sa kalye? Or?
Sa kalye mismo. There'd be times that we closed down the street.
Wow!
Tapos pagka-traffic sila, wala kaming pakialam. Then darating yung police, everything. It would be really, really magulo.
Sino yung mga lumalaban?
Okay, kasi before, if you notice before, there was a lot of, that's when the hip-hop culture started also, di ba? So everybody started wearing loose jeans, feeling gangster. Tapos may mga, syempre, there's other people with frats, there's other people with martial arts groups. So lahat yung nagsasalubong doon.
Mhm.
So doon nag-uupangan, as in all the time. So, and every weekend. Tapos syempre, may mga people would get into fights because pinastos yung girl.
Huh?
Syempre, di ba? Usually that's the start sa mga away, di ba? Dahil sa babae.
Pero hindi naman prize fight. So hindi siya prize fighting.
All pride.
Talaga?
All pride lang.
Ah.
So, let's say, sinabi nito, mas magaling siya sa'yo. Saan siya? Let's go.
Wow.
Yun na. Tapos sabi ng school na to, mas magaling siya. Punta namin yung school. Tara, let's go. As in, ganun. It was really pretty chaotic before. And then, I saw that we had to sanitize all of this. Kasi, this is a sport that we're all taking serious in training, but then people think na, well, totoo naman because a lot of us were just street fighters and thugs, but nawala yung martial arts culture. So we had to bring it back and sanitize everything.
So basically, you belong to a group who practice martial arts, and then meron kang babalitaan na may tropa pala doon na
It always be like that. Not exactly us, but actually kaming laging hinahamon. Because especially me, for example, when you look at me, sino payatot na tisoy na yan? Marunong pag-away yan. Diba? There's like, so syempre, a lot of people would try to pick on me also. Ayun, tapos nalaman na lang nila.
Sino yung mga lumalaban? Sino yung mga...
Pero marami, I mean, they're different groups.
From where? Are these students or are these tambay? Or?
I had all sorts. I had people from the US, I had people from other martial arts schools, people from other fraternities, as in lahat yan. And then, it's funny because a lot before, all of us used to beat up each other and almost kill each other. And then may mga namatay actually. But then now, all of us are friends. All of us are friends.
Kahit yung mga kaaway mo.
Kahit yung mga kaaway. It's really funny because parang may sarili kaming bonding.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you defeat your enemy when you make him your friend. So, that's how I defeat a lot of them. Ginawa ko na sa kaibigan.
Oo nga eh. Actually, yun nga yung art of war, di ba? Yun yung total, doon mo malalaman that you have conquered your enemy pag naging tropa mo na. Okay. So, you said it came to a point where it became violent?
Yeah. What do you call it? Like me, for example, umabot to the point that I got shot 3 times when I'm 16.
Shot?
So, yeah, kasi nabaril ako in my stomach, everything. My cousin beside me died. He got shot. He got hit here, and then he got hit in the leg. It was really, really terrible before.
Wow.
So talagang it was really grabe.
How would you describe the feeling of getting shot?
Well, actually, I didn't feel it.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's M16. Tapos when that happened, kaya ko paputok.
Mm-hmm.
Tapos mamaya yung mga tao, sisigawan na. After that, my leg started shaking by itself. Tapos mamaya, basa. Uy, ako pala yun. Tapos later on, natang tao, nagtatakbuhan. Tapos, I could see my cousin sa malayo. He was nakahiga na. Tapos, remember there's a taxi eh. So, tinawag ko pa yung taxi. Then when I went to the taxi, parang nanghina ako. I threw half of my body inside the taxi. Then after that, my friend si Boy 2, he put my legs in, and after that, that's when we went to the
Boy
hospital.
2 Kiso?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, we went to the hospital. Tapos pagdating sa hospital, sabi ko sa mga doktor, Dok, mamamatay ba ako? Yung mga nurse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They would say, Sir, wait lang, sir. Sabi ko, mamamatay ba ako? Hindi. Sir, wait lang. Sabi ko, mumuntuhin talaga kita. Sabi ko sa akin ko mamamatay. So I was panicking already.
Mm-hmm.
I was really, really panicking. And then there was one doctor there. He goes, ikaw si Alvin Aguilar, di ba? And I go, oh, ikaw pala si Alvin Aguilar, hindi ka makamatay. Oo nga, no? So doon na lang ako kumunan, tipay na loob because, grabe, I mean, my intestines were all messed up. Kasi ang daming dugo. Kasi sobrang daming dugo. And every time I try to hold my cut, talagang lumulusot yung dugo sa kamay ko, everything.
Wow.
So, it was really, grabe yan.
So, dito sa torso, sa stomach area, dun ka.
So,
did it hit any vital organs?
No, it ripped up my intestines. All my intestines were ripped up. So I had like 100 stitches here. Tapos ang dami. I had exit wounds this big. So
wow.
So it was really, really bad. And then, ayun.
So how did that affect you? So you kept on fighting even after that?
So, well, I have one bullet until now that's in my spine. Hindi na inoperahan. So after that, the doctor said, syempre I was like, concerned, will I be able to train after that? Will I be able to do this? And then sabi nila, you know what? A lot of the doctors said, maybe you should take it easy, ganyan. Syempre me, when people tell me that I can't do it, all the more I have to do it. Because, like the people who change the world, like compromise, people who change themselves for the world, are the steady people, diba? Now, people who change the world for themselves are the ones that created, progress. So when people say I can't do it, all the more I gotta. Okay, so when they said that I hindi na pwedeng train, ganyan, I went to the States, pina-check ko, after 14 days I was on the mat. Even when I had stitches in my stomach.
Wow. So you were training jiu-jitsu na. Where did you, you said you learned about the Gracies.
Mm-hmm.
So that was before the...
Oh yeah, that was way before all of this, yeah. I had learned, I used to go to the only martial arts shop before the Green Helsing Squadron shop.
Mm-hmm.
all the old school guys will remember this. Whenever I go there, you buy all the martial arts magazines, all the martial arts videos, yung naka-VHS pa.
Mhm.
So, ang gagawin nila, they would buy the original, record nila, tapos yan ang ibibenta nila. So, so
Uso naman dati yun.
oh, diba?
Grabe.
Yung old school na, so, ayan. That's how I discovered the Gracies.
Ah, wow. Dinownload ko yata yun. Ano ba? Yung Gracie Academy, buong
Yeah.
course nila nandun. Grabe. So
But-
did you meet Helio?
Yeah, I was able to train with Helio. Helio, Hoyce, Horian, Kaike, Euler. I got to train all of them. And what was yung that time kasi, it was parang whenever yung sikat nun si Hoyce.
Mm-hmm.
So lagi mong gusto mong paturo kay
Si
Hoyce,
Hoyce.
Hoyce,
Mhm.
diba? Tapos si Helio minsan magsasalita na, he would, try to teach you. So ako naman, di masyado makikinig. Tandaan, gusto ko kay Hoyce.
Talaga.
But now, dapat pala, doon ako nakinig kasi siya yung founder.
Mm-hmm.
Di ba? And of course, Helio during that time did not speak English. Like,
Oh.
nakapulong siya doon. He'd be sitting down watching the classes. Every now and then he'd say something, but it would always be Hoyce or Kaike teaching. Therefore.
Well, for those people na hindi kilala si Helio, sino si Helio?
Yeah, Helio's the
Gracie.
founder of Gracie Jiu-Jitsu.
Mhm.
So, Helio and Carlos Gracie.
Carlos Gracie.
Yeah.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is different from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Well, okay, it's like this. They just marketed it na Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but it's all really Jiu-Jitsu. But then, what happened was, in Japan, the reason why the Jiu-Jitsu or their Newaza wasn't so developed, wasn't as developed as the ones in Brazil, is because of the advent of Judo.
Mhm.
Judo yung sumikat. Jigoro Kano, what he did was he took out a lot of the grappling aspect, and then he made the emphasis on throws,
Mhm.
para they could become the Olympics and everything. So, doon naman sa Brazil, they emphasized the ground fighting.
Chokes.
Yeah, the chokes, yeah, it's more of the nuance part. So that's why medyo, they got a little bit more advanced than Japan. But now, everybody's learning, everybody's catching up, but then if you see the World Championship, it's still dominated by the Brazilians. Because they're very, very technical, they're very, very strong, and they work really, really hard.
So how were the Gracies in regards to, I mean, siyempre baka madaming mga nagpupunta doon, di ba? Kasi it became like the mecca of jiu-jitsu. So I'd imagine a lot of people from different countries would be there.
Yeah, when I first got there, nung wala pa yung UFC, we would train there, okay lang. But after the UFC, naka-waiting list ka. You'd have to pay, a certain amount para wala kang waiting list just to be able to train. Wala pa dun yung tuition. So when I got there, talagang pila talaga. Everybody wanted to go. Everybody wanted to learn. And of course, everybody wanted to challenge them.
Oh.
Every weekend, may mga gago doon na would always challenge the Gracies. Tas, it came to the point that yung Gracie would say, sa estudyante ka na lang.
Oh.
This fighter student.
They have videos of
Yeah,
that, di ba?
Gracie in action, yeah.
Di ba? Yung mga tapos nag-narrate pa si
Horian.
Si Horian.
Yeah. Actually, the reason why the UFC was started, okay, UFC was started so the Gracies could sell their videotapes.
Oh. Yun yung hidden agenda pala.
Yeah, but it worked. But everybody around the world bought it and everything, And jiu-jitsu is practiced all over the world. But all of this is the brainchild of Horian Gracie.
Mhm.
People don't give him enough credit, but he's the one who started everything.
Yeah. Oo nga, no? May mga, yung 25th year anniversary ng UFC, meron silang mga features. So, detailing some tidbits about the history. Yeah. So, from there, nung bumalik ka dito, is the underground fighting scene still...
Yeah, okay. So, when I came back here, everybody was saying, di kayo gagaling sa jiu-jitsu, mga Pinoy kayo eh. O sino ba katraining mo dito? Kung kayo-kayo lang. So, what I did was, I got some students, and I made sure that I trained them really, really hard, and I made sure they would be able to endure anything.
Mhm.
So, yung sparring namin, talagang bubugan, we would have blood, and after that, we eat a little bit, then we train again. I made them so tough kasi that I had to build a strong foundation. Kasi typically when you're starting something new, maraming susubok sa'yo. Especially when you say, oh, magaling ako and I can do this. Ah, talaga? Magaling ka? Sige nga. Daming ganon. So I had to prepare all of our students for this. So our first batch for DevTech was like really, really tough guys. They all became URCC champions and they're all black belts now.
Wow.
They've done underground fights, they've done professional fights, they've competed here and abroad. By our count now, we've already had more than 500 national and international champions in Jiu-Jitsu and MMA.
From DevTech pa lang?
From DevTech, yeah.
Wow. So, how long did it take you to get the black belt?
It took me 14 years.
Wow.
What do you call it? Really, really long because remember, I had to keep flying back and forth. Back
Okay.
and forth, back and forth. I didn't have a black belt here. Basically, I was on my own. So when Kazeka came here, Kazeka Muniz came here and gave me the black belt. After that, I started training with Hoyler. Hoyler gave me to Saulo Rivero. He's a multiple champion. He's our general. He's the head of Rivero Jiu-Jitsu. When I first got into his gym, it was Mundial's training. The training set for the World Championship. Ito yung cast dun sa mat. Coron Gracie was there. Fredson Alves, Hedges, Sanje, Pato, basta lahat ng mga who's who nandun. So, you can just imagine kahit kanino ka maging partner, magbubugbog ka talaga. So talagang, wow, ano ba to? Talagang, it was really hard. But then, because you get smashed, you learn, and then, I'm very, very proud to be part of Saulo Rivero's vision of Jiu-Jitsu.
So, when was this?
About 10 years ago already.
Years. So, when you started DevTech, you're also the founder of DevTech. What does DevTech mean?
Okay, DevTech, our first gym was called Defense Tactics Center.
Okay.
Because it came to the point that before, during the 90s, yung mga tao would train martial arts para pwede sila makapagpakan sa labas. So we had to shy away from all of that and use defense. Diba? So that's why it was Defense Tactics Center. Then after that, abbreviated DevTech. Now DevTech is the largest jiu-jitsu team in Asia now. And then we've been here for more than 15 years. So talagang, we really work hard to take care of everybody. The goal, if you're part of DevTech, your goal is this: to make yourself better and make everybody around you as good as possible. That's it.
DevTech. Pero is it also a part of the Gracies or this is a different?
DevTech is the umbrella organization. So we practice a lot of martial arts. So under DevTech, our jiu-jitsu is Rivero Jiu-Jitsu. So we have our own MMA team. We have our own Philippine martial arts team. Diba? So Philippine weapon fighting.
Oh yeah. So my previous guest here, si Chris Hoffman, is also from DevTech,
Yes.
right? Sayang kaso, split na si
Chris,
si Chris Hoffman. Ay, Chris Hoffman, wala ka pa. Pero one thing, talking about Chris Hoffman, one of the most fascinating thing about me when I meet, Chris Hoffman is of course a 2-division champion, certified martial artist yun. Di ba?
Yeah.
Pero pag nakasama mo siya, ang bait pala, di ba? He's so fun to be with and he's so basta he's very amiable and he's very humble. Parang parang kabaliktaran ng i-expect mo di ba? Parang ba't ganun?
Well, actually, that's the misconception people think. That people think because you're a champion or you're a mixed martial artist, kailangan sa napasiga yan and everything. Almost 99% of all the mixed martial artists are good, humble guys. They don't go out, they don't drink, they just stay home, they go to the gym, they train. Yun lang yung buhay nila. So, see Chris, for example, Chris knows how to party, right, Chris? But what's this? What sets Chris apart from the other people is number one is he listens. He's not a dummy, he listens. Number two, he has good work ethic. So I don't know if it's because he's half Swiss or anything, because I have other fighters, when I tell them to do something, when no one's watching, they won't do it. See Chris, even if no one's watching, he will do it. So that's the difference. So that is already his edge. And I think Chris is one of the few Filipino fighters who can show the world that Filipino fighters are really, really good.
I think there's also that that self-confidence na yung character mo that martial arts you can get from martial arts talaga na parang you're so confident na wala kang dapat patunayan,
True.
diba? So
Yeah, when you reach a certain level, diba, you shouldn't be. You have to choose your battles already.
mhm.
You can't go after every dog that barks. Diba?
Oo
So
nga
you
eh.
have to choose your battles. But the confidence that you get from training martial arts, mixed martial arts, is of course it's perfect. But then the moment you start believing in your own legend,
Mhm.
that's the time you're going down. That's what happens to a lot of our Filipino fighters. Nanalo lang sila ng 3 or 4 straight. Akala nila napakagaling na nila. Then they stop training. Then gimmick na. Then nakikinig ka sila, uy, galing-galing mo. Oo, galing-galing ko. Then after that, tuloy-tuloy na. I've seen it happen to so many fighters,
Here sa
especially here. Bilis lumaki ng ulo.
talaga.
Yeah.
Well, you are the promoter,
So
diba?
I see it right away. Or minsan nagmamadali.
Mhm.
Tumawag lang yung UFC or tumawag lang yung mga ibang international promotions. Sige, kaya ko na yan.
Mhm.
And after that, people say, bakit natalo yung Pinoy? Then I'll explain why. It's because hilaw pa siya.
Mhm.
Like the Filipinos in the UFC, now we have to have people who are at least mga 20 to 30 fights, kahit amateur and professional, before ka mag-UFC.
Mhm.
Kasi you can't go in there na 2 fights pa lang. Eh, yung mga kalaban mo have been training their whole lives, so they have more exposure, di ba, to better people. So talagang matatalo ka.
Pero pag yung ibang fighters naman sa UFC, parang yung makikita mo yung record nila, parang 6-0.
Okay, that's true, but remember, they're training with professional fighters who have a lot of fights daily. Dito, there are a lot of professional fighters, but then it's more of they don't. When mixed martial arts kasi here, it's still developing. So our guys have to know how to cross train.
Mhm.
Ang sakit ng Philippine mixed martial arts is like this. Every trainer does not thinks that he knows everything. So if you go to an MMA gym, there's an MMA coach. Yung MMA coach nagtuturo ng boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu. Hindi pwede yun. You have to, you have to have specialized guys for that. Like even if I'm certified to teach that, when I teach Chris Hoffman, we have a boxing instructor.
Mhm.
Even if I wrestle for such a long time, he has a wrestling instructor.
Mhm.
Then that's when we come in.
Mhm.
You have to specialize. And then another thing is, hindi nag-cross-train masyado yung mga tao for mixed martial arts. You have to go out and learn from other people.
Okay.
Hindi pwedeng, tayo lang ha, tayo lang gagaling ha. Tapos, whatever you see sa YouTube, ito may exercise yan, gayahin na rin natin. Or yung ganyan ng ropes. All of a sudden, if you go to every conditioning coach, may ropes na ngayon. Wala namang ganyan dati eh. Like everyone's like, uy, kailangan may ropes ka.
Pag nakita sa montage ng
Diba?
mga, diba?
Kailangan may ganyan ka, diba? So,
Ang pogi kasi tignan eh, di ba? Pag videoan. Grabe. So how in-depth basically it's your approach is scientific talaga.
oh yeah, kasi before, when you join DefTac, ang ginagawa namin is, you come inside, beat you up, and after that, if you can't come back, supot ka. But then, it's not like that anymore. Because I know that was when we were younger. Because we had to build a good, strong foundation. Now, we have to make everybody as strong as possible. So even if they're weak, they come inside, we treat them with kid gloves. You can, kahit hindi ka kondisyonado, we take care of you.
Mhm.
And we make sure that you learn you're in a community of people that really genuinely support you.
Mhm.
And then when they really genuinely support you, that's the time you can start moving. We've made people who are young, old, professionals, and everything. We made all of them champions. We're very proud of our work there.
Amazing. Well, DefTac is one of the siguro pinaka-highest level na gyms dito sa Pilipinas. Pero are there others?
Yeah, of course. There's other teams, of course. There's a lot of other teams. But then, very, very proud to say, for the past decade, DefTac is, hands down for Jiu-Jitsu. We won, like this year, for example, we won overall champions in everything. Everything. And actually, for the past 10 years, just a sayang lang because for Jiu-Jitsu,
Mhm.
the best athletes don't get to represent the country.
Oo nga, parang nasabi nga ni Guest yun.
Mhm.
So bakit ganun? Ano nangyari?
Kasi ganito sa Philippines. Yung sports sa Philippines is ganito pa rin. Kung kaibigan mo si ganyan, then pwede kayo.
Ganun pa.
Oo. Ganun pa rin eh.
Grabe naman yun.
So, can you imagine, we sent the people na second and third place na hindi naman nanalo nationals dito. Sila yung pinadala sa Asian Games. Ganun mo, kamote.
Wow.
They sent how many people? But 8 or 5 to 8 people. 1 bronze.
One bronze.
And we had 5 sure gold medals. Ito pala, my girlfriend here's May Masuda.
Uh-huh.
First Filipino world champion.
Mhm.
First Asian beach gold medalist.
Mhm.
First homegrown black belt. Hindi siya nakapunta.
Who are the people that forms this committee?
Okay, what happened was, kasi the second and third place teams, nagkakuntsaba sila na para yung mga bata lang nila pumunta.
Mhm.
Kasi kung mag-open tryouts, bubog sila. Every year, binububog namin yung mga yan eh.
Ah.
So, so they did that, and then it was a terrible injustice to our country. Can you imagine? You represent the country. You're a federation that represents the country, but you knowingly sent people who are not the Philippines' best.
And ipaprop mo sila as the best.
Oh, tapos
Diba?
then they're not the best. Tapos tingnan mo, when that happened, yan, wala. Everywhere where people are cheering na, oh, we had a good run in the Asian Games. We had so many medals. We shouldn't be celebrating about that. We should be getting more.
Mhm.
Kasi nandun naman yung PSC to support.
Mhm.
Diba? Now you just have to put the right people in charge and get rid of all of the people na may agenda.
Mhm.
Ang problem kasi sa Philippine sports is, ang dami dyan puro agenda nila.
Mhm.
And their agenda is not to send the best.
Are you a part of this committee? Or?
I'm the president of the Philippine Wrestling.
Okay.
So this November 6 to 9, we're going to be hosting the SEA Games here
Yeah.
this November. So I'll be trying to break the record for the most golds of an NSA in the Philippines.
NSA.
It's a National Sports Association.
Yeah. Okay. So, anong magandang gawin dyan sa problema na yan?
Sa Philippine sports.
Oo.
Well, you just have to put the right people in charge.
Mhm.
And then, kasi yung mga, a lot of the people there are not athletes.
Yung the
Mga
people
nakaupo.
deciding.
Oo, yung mga nakaupo
deciding.
dyan.
Mhm.
A lot of them never trained in
How did they get to their positions?
Okay, sports at the higher levels is more political than anything else. So, a lot of these people never even play the sport that they're representing. So when they do that, I mean, how can you produce champions? How can you have a program when you've never been an athlete?
Bakit man naman, kung ako yun bakit ko naman tatanggapin yung position na yun? If I'm not even, di ba? Parang labo ko rin kung gano'n, di ba?
True, di ba? Kasi you'll be lying to yourself.
Yeah.
Right? It's like this. Because when you become like an official, ang dami mong, there's ways to make money, mangungurakot ka, or there's a lot of prestige. Kasi and then there's a lot of, you get to travel everywhere.
So
yun
petty
ang habol
talaga,
nila.
di ba?
Ganun lang. That's it. So, there will be a time that we will have good sports leaders who will really be able to lead our country. And, we're in that fight, and we'll always be in that fight. Kasi eventually, we will not rest. That's going to be one of my fights talaga, to make sure the right people are in charge. We cannot allow na palpak na lang lagi tayo sa sports. Hindi naman, ang gagaling ng mga Pinoy eh. Diba? We have yung puso ng Pinoy. Iba yan compared to everybody else. Pag Pinoy, sanay ka sa hirap, kahit anong hirap bibigay mo sa Pinoy, they can always laugh it off. Kasi ganun ka tayo katibay. Now, can you imagine if we use that resilience, tapos you support people properly? Diba? There's no way hindi tayo pwede maging Olympic champions.
Grabe. Tapos parang so ang nangyayari parang short change talaga ang mga Pilipino. With
Yes.
that, parang ang saya-saya na natin, yung pala, dami pala natin.
Oo, ang dami. And then, sometimes also, the support that the athletes are given. Can you imagine, like for wrestling, our budget is around 12 million per year. Okay? Ang Korea, ang budget nila is $3 million.
Wow.
So, paano ka lalaban doon?
Oo.
Diba? So, ganun yung mga programs. So, it's either we have to, syempre, discard tayo para we can be competitive, but that's what we're up against.
Amazing. I also saw this news about Heidelin Diaz, diba?
Yes.
Parang she was interviewed. Tapos, ang dami daw demands from her by the people, kung sino man sila. Tapos, pero hindi naman, ang daming demands, pero wala
Imagine-
namang binibigay.
Imagine, tama sinabi niya, ang taas ng demands niyo sa amin, pero liit ng binibigay niyo.
Mhm.
When you go around the world to international competitions, you will see how far behind we are. Like, for example, I just came from Kazakhstan.
Mhm.
We spent for our trip ourselves to Kazakhstan.
Mhm.
Pagdating doon sa Kazakhstan, I noticed all the other teams, all the other countries, naka-full jacket sila,
Mhm.
naka-full uniform. Tapos they had their own coaches, they had everything.
Mhm.
Pero tayo kami,
Mhm.
our federation, we had to pay for everything ourselves.
Mhm.
Isipin mo yan.
And how many people were your team?
We had about 3 or 4.
3?
And then yung half naman nun, we sent to Japan.
Mhm.
So sa Japan, we got overall sa novice competition naman. Sa
Tapos
Japan.
pa rin, zero support.
Zero.
Hindi man zero.
Zero
Zero
support.
talaga.
Zero support. Kasi ako nagwasa sa lahat.
Okay.
One of the things also is, I took over my NSA, yung WAP. Okay, now, when I took it over, the past 2 officers namin, sobrang kurakot. Kasi ninanakaw talaga nila outright yung pera. So, hindi nila ma-liquidate. So ngayon, I'm the president, there's unliquidated. Now, there's this policy now. Pag may unliquidated ka, hindi ka pwede kumuha ng support sa PSC. But even if it's not my time, my time fully liquidated lahat. Even if it's not, I have to bear that burden. So that's where we are now. So because of that, wala kami nawawang support.
How do these people sleep?
Exactly.
Diba?
Grabe. We had this one girl coach pa. Pinakulong namin yun eh. We had
Girl coach?
Yeah, girl
Mhm.
Yung mga kids are given 5,000 a month allowance.
Mhm.
Yung ginagawa niya, kumukuha siya ng 4,000 para sa kanya, 1,000 ang binibigay niya sa mga bata.
Grabe.
Imagine, sa nagtira ka pa gana, kinuha mo na rin lahat.
Oo, no?
So I mean, that's what we're up against. Diba? So,
And these are former athletes as well.
yes.
Bakit ganun, di ba? Siguro parang, gaganti ka na lang kasi ganun ang ginawa sa'yo dati.
Ganun. So that's what we're up against. One is we have to have the right people in charge. The policy makers have to be real athletes. Hindi yung naisip lang nila, ano kaya, gawin natin to. Diba? At saka kailangan wala silang agenda. Yung iba kasi yung agenda nila para makita lang yung mukha nila sa TV. Wala bang alam.
The agenda should be to help the athletes and get medals.
Yes.
Di ba? If there's an agenda, dapat yun.
That's the only agenda.
Oo nga eh.
Pero apparently hindi. Actually, I was thinking of doing this. Well, I'll say it here first up.
Wow.
You know, in Russia, what they do is about these other Russian countries, when they have corrupt officials, they go in, they carry them,
Mhm.
tapos pag nilabas, may malaking basurahan, tapos tinatapon nila dun. I'm this close to doing that.
well, kaya mo siguro nga din. Kasi wrestler ka, di ba?
Bahala na si Batman sa mga kaso. Kailangan na talaga grabe.
So by the looks of it, you're really fed up with this this system.
This is really, it's really very, very hard. Especially, I see our athletes, they work so hard, but then they don't get, they just don't get the support that they deserve. Ang sama, can you imagine, you just to be a Filipino athlete, ang hirap. Ang liit ng kinikita mo. Kahit sinasabi na, okay, if you win this, you get this. Pero before you can win at this level, you have to be given proper support. So, in wrestling, they say, for example, bakit hindi kayo umabot ng Olympics? Because yung sa atin is, kalaban namin, 7 years old pa lang world champion na. So, can you imagine that? Diba? And then I get our wrestlers at 18, mga 16 to 18, doon pa lang sila pwede bigyan ng sweldo. So, so the policy making is talaga
Grabe. And this is just kumbaga, sports siya, hindi pa to yung mga matitinding ahensya talaga ng gobyerno. Not to undermine sports.
Yeah, but
pero di ba? Doon pa lang.
Now going back to that, just in case people might be listening also. Now, people will say sa PSC. PSC is the funding arm of the government. Okay? All of the employees of PSC Sobrang bait ng mga yan. They really, puso nila para sa atleta talaga. Because I've been there and there every day. Okay sila. But sometimes there's some policies that are given to them na talagang it just doesn't work.
Like what?
Well, yeah, like for example, this unliquidated.
Yun.
Diba?
Options.
Oh, I mean that was the fault of the old officers that I inherited. But now I can't get the proper support because nagnakaw yung mga dating presidente. So, diba? Really.
When did you enter this the politics of sports?
Well,
Kailan nagsimula yung sakit ng ulo mo na yan?
Yeah, that's true. You know what? Okay, what I always used to wrestle before. It's a good base for jiu-jitsu, for mixed martial arts. You know, it's great and makes you really, really tough and strong. So I was wrestling for a long time. Tapos, one day, the wrestler said, you know, we have to do something because lagi na lang tayong inaapi, lagi tayong nanakawan, lagi nagkukulang. I said, if you can, yung mga horror stories talaga, I would see our athletes, kakain sila ng lunch. Rice. Ang ulam nila, yung cup noodles.
Oh, cup noodles?
Yun yung ulam nila. Can you imagine? Diba? Paano ko
Anong nutrition ng makukuha mo doon? Diba?
Yeah, diba? So, yun. So, eventually I became an officer. When I became an officer, dun ko lalong nakita na grabe pala.
Paano pa kung ma-injure ka? Diba?
Yun, yari ka.
Grabe, you just get started.
Well, no. But the athletes are helped when they're injured. Talagang, if you go down to the PT session at BSC, talagang they really fix you up right away.
Talaga.
Believe talaga. Doon ako sa PT place ng PSC. Talagang believe ako. I had injuries there. I went there. After 2 weeks, pwede na ako.
Talaga.
Yeah, magaling
So,
sila.
competent talaga yung
Magaling sila doon. Yeah.
Well, madami naman din sa mga public hospitals or public hospital ba yun?
No, it's within PSC also.
Ah, I see.
So, talaga.
So this is
your worms by saying all of this.
Okay lang. So parang well, that's aside from your I'm pretty sure you're a very busy man with URCC pa lang.
Yeah.
So
But you know, it's when you like what the saying says, diba? If you enjoy what you do, you don't work a day in your life.
yeah.
And what's nice is for the most part, at least 80% of the time, I'm surrounded by people I love. Kasi talagang mahal ko sila, they're my family, aside from my family, you know, it's my friends I work with, so it's an awesome life.
That's great. Diba? Well, tapos pag meron mga problema pa, okay, dyan kayo, you exist, pero at the end of the day, you are...
Like you know, there will always be detractors. Diba? I mean, if people are shooting arrows at your back, it means you're not in front. So, that's my daughter making noise.
Well, your daughter is. I saw photos of you guys. So you are a jiu-jitsu family.
Oh yeah.
So how do you? Ano yung do lahat ba kayo nag-train?
Yeah, all of us train. Luki over there, the one holding the phone, has been a national champion.
Wow.
Lucho just came from Taiwan, where he won. He was a champion for freestyle wrestling, and he beat all the other Asian countries for wrestling. He just came back from Taiwan. May just came back from Kazakhstan. She weighs only 49 kilos, but she fought 58 kilos, and she got 4th place in the world.
Wow.
Ito nakakatawa kasi, what do you call that? Wala siyang weight class doon, so she fought in a heavier weight class. Parang just to challenge herself for the SEA Games. Kasi yung SEA Games natin dito, may weight class siya, so okay lang. So, syempre, date niya, nagbe-breastfeed pa siya. Ang ginawa ng Kazakhstan, siya muna, kasi mukhang kaya ko yan. Bug na yung Kazakhstan. Yan.
Jiu-jitsu to?
Yeah.
Wrestling.
Well, grappling.
So, parang merong, I don't know if when you watch MMA, let's say sa 1FC, kahit yung mga Pinoy na lumaban sa UFC, parang there's parang, I don't know if it's a stereotype, pero parang ang weakness ng Pinoy MMA fighters is wrestling. Is it still True.
Yeah, it's always wrestling because wrestling is very very hard, and wrestling is not something that you can just get overnight or 1 year. It takes years before you get that.
Mhm.
Aside from wrestling, the one thing that holds the Filipino fighters back is also the support because a lot of them have to live.
Mhm.
So a lot of them work, do something else while training.
Mhm.
While yung mga kalaban nila can just train.
Yeah.
So, diba?
And a lot of, paminsan-minsan nagte-train ako ng boxing.
Mhm.
Tapos, I actually have a couple of guys na I support, mga trainers ko rin.
Mhm.
Tapos, bibigyan ko ng mga pang-uniform lang, mga ganun. Tapos, makikita mo, pag nagkwento sila about how much they make, at least yung isa, yung Pinoy, yung boxer doon, he got to, nagte-train pa rin siya sa gym I mean, he takes students pa din. Pero at least, nagawa niya na nagkaroon siya ng mga kampa minsan na hindi siya nagte-train. Yun nga lang, wala talagang pera. And he came from a poor family in, I think, General Santos pa. Tapos, pag yung prize money niya, pag nanalo siya, it's not even enough na magpadala siya.
Wala.
Wala na siyang papadala, 'di ba?
Especially if you're a boxer.
Oo.
You have to have a good promoter to make it good in boxing here. It's only Manny Pacquiao and a few others that really make money, but in terms of most of them, they get about 1,000 pesos per round. So if you're a 4-rounder, you get 1,000 pesos per round, so that's 4,000. Siyempre, you have to give some to your trainer, you have to give some to your handler. Ano may iwan sa'yo?
May cut pa, di ba?
Yeah.
Grabe. So sabi ko, kaya maawa ka eh. Maawa ka talaga. Tapos, they have to wait how many fights para umangat yung rank niya until their hopes is yung makalaban outside the country.
Yes.
That's the only time that they can cash out a little bit.
Ang problem lang naman is, when they do fight outside the country, minsan they're overmatched. Pinapadala sila para matalo. Like Manny Pacquiao before. Pinadala yan before para matalo. Pinanalo.
Talaga?
Yeah.
Wow.
I had so many stories. Like we used to have a boxer with us. His name was Gary Garay. He was sent to another country para magbubog siya. He was fighting the Manny Pacquiao, I think of Thailand, I think that time. Then he knocked the Thailander out.
Oh.
So, di ba?
Mga Cinderella stories na yung mga ganyan, no?
Di ba? Ang galing. That's also, speaking of Gary, that's another survivor.
Grabe. So, basta parang, I don't know kung paano ka mabubuhay as an athlete eh.
Yeah, very hard.
Kasi most of the people, may mga sponsors pa. To the point na magka-sponsor ka, parang ang dami pa talagang gagawin.
True. So, ang nangyari dyan is, discard lang talaga dapat. But then again, like with any challenge, never let anything be in your way. Makagawa ka ng paraan. If you really want something, if that's the only thing in your mind and you want it, there's nobody that can stop you. The only person who will stop you from getting your goal is yourself.
Yeah, it's true. Yun nga yung sinasabi ko din eh. Dapat ano mo sa utak mo, magiging champion ka. Di ba? Kasi kung hindi ka maniniwala, if you can't even entertain the thought, wala na, di ba?
Bokya na. Ano pa lang.
Di ba? Let's talk about URCC naman, di ba? So, I wanna, yung isang gusto ko itanong sa'yo pa is about the Baron Geisler and Kiko. So, after 2 years na ba yun?
Yeah, about 2 years
About
ago.
2 years. So, how would you, ano yung, ano mo doon? Ano pong tawag yun? How would you recollect that experience?
Okay, I knew Baron before when I did a TV show with him before. I think it was Tabing Ilog. I think that's where I met him. Anyway, what do you call that? That's why I met him before. And then Kiko Matos used to go to my gym when he was a little kid. And ang gulo-gulo nila, like sa window, mag-iingay sila sa labas ng training namin. Then I'd say, halika dito, itutuloy na kita. Kung hindi ka,
Bata pa siya.
Oo, bata pa siya. Halika. Eh, takot siya, ayaw niya matulog. So, takot siya. That's how young I knew both of them. So, then finally, I saw them fighting dun sa TV. Eh, tamang-tama, I had a URCC fight night. And then I said, the URCC is not like the other promotions na nakita yung UFC, gayahin ko kaya to. Tayo, we were already doing this on the streets and everywhere else.
Oh, yeah.
And then we just had to pick it up. So sabi ko, instead of you guys fighting in the streets, di ba, lagi, they're like always just isang bar. Doing it sa URCC na. So yun, from there, ang daming nangyari, ang daming kwento and everything. I mean, sabi pa nila na Kiko Matos nagtapo ng ihi. Hindi naman ihi. It was beer. I mean, nagalit pa sa akin na mga tao, bakit ka nagpo-promote ng ganyan? Nagtatapo na ng ihi. Hindi naman ihi. Kayo na nagsabi ng ihi. Diba? So, it was really, really good. The voluntary one was, the seating capacity there, standing room only was 2,000 at the most. Ang daming pumasok, paglabas, grabe yung pila. There's a long line of people who weren't able to go inside. As much as I wanted people to go inside, hindi sila nakapasok.
Talaga?
Over capacity talaga
That's fine. That's her first podcast appearance.
I know, right?
So, pero nung siguro how was it talking to these guys? To these, especially Baron, wild child talaga yun. So how did you negotiate with that guy?
Baron is always a character talaga. You gotta love the guy. I mean, he's very funny and he's very, okay, our meeting with him was, I met him in the Marriott Grand Ballroom. Baron, you went home with it. So the whole time when we were meeting and discussing about this thing, he had a mineral water bottle, and then he was drinking it. So I didn't pay much attention to it. It's like, then I go. Then later on, when we were, medyo nag-usap na kami about what's gonna happen, I go, Baron, what's that? What are you drinking? No, this is tea. It's for my health. I go, wow, that's good. You're really taking care of yourself now. But just after like a few seconds, no, I can't lie to you. It's alcohol. He's really funny. But what's this? He's in. I heard he's in recovery now. He's trying to pick up his life. He's a very, very talented guy. I mean, we've seen it before. But he has so many TV shows, movies, and the like.
The movies, okay mga ano niya. Okay
yeah. And he's a very talented actor. Once he gets fixed up, I'm sure he'll do. Kiko Matos, on the other hand, has been training with us, and he's gotten gold medals in jiu-jitsu and everything, and he even fought in the URCC as a pro.
Yeah, di ba? But may nakalaban pa siyang isa Parang heckler ba yun?
Heckler guy na kept saying na bubugin kita, ganyan. Lumipad pa siya from, lilipad pa namin yan from different country. I forgot. Yeah.
What's his name again?
I forgot his name.
Oh my God!
It was funny, naka-beast Conor McGregor siya sa wow. But Kiko really prepared for him, and also, congratulate Kiko and Maria. They have a new child now.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, I watched that, napanood ko yung laban nila ni Baron tsaka ni Kiko. And I was expecting, hindi ko alam kung nangyayari dito sa dalawang to. I was hoping as an MMA fan na parang, kasi it gathered a lot of attention di ba? At the very least yun, sabi ko, at least yun na, meron. Pero let's say kung meron pa tayong makukuhang iba, if they actually perform na maganda, di ba? Pero I think they were able to pull it off naman.
Yeah, you have to remember, these guys only had 2 to 3 weeks of training.
Yeah.
As in galing sa wala. And once, if you've been in a real fight, 3 to 5 seconds tapos na yung laban, tapos hingal na hingal ka. These guys were fighting 5 minutes. If you notice the fight after that, so what's that? 2 rounds sila, diba? 2 rounds.
2 rounds.
Okay, so at the second round, sabi ko, I want the third para So I go inside the cage. I go, Kiko, can you do it? Ganun lang siya. I go, Baron, can you do it? So, and our contract was for 2 rounds. As much as I wanted them to fight, because sige, laban kayo, di ba? Diba? Usapan ng contract sa contract. You have to keep your word no matter what's on the line. So, we got both of them to stand up, and then we raised both of their hands, and that was it.
Oh, well, ang ganda nga ng ending eh. I think it's better than that.
People thought na, it was a sadyada draw. I mean, for anyone who talks like that, I mean, do you think na kaya mo lumaban ng 5 minutes straight? Imagine with that crowd na wala kang training.
Well, I'll answer that for you. No. Okay. Kasi when I, di ba, pag nagbabox, pag matagal kang na-lay off, siguro, swerte na ako pag I will surprise myself if I last 2 rounds.
Yun, pants lang yun na ikaw yung sumusunod, di ba? Imagine, umiilag ka pa, di ba?
Diba? Tapos, wow. Grabe. And they exhibited, yung mga may ground game pa, di ba?
Nagawin ka kasi nabili yung ground game, di ba?
Di ba? Nakakatawa talaga. And I think it couldn't have gone any better given on what those 2 guys had that time.
Yeah.
Diba? Parang that's parang okay. I think they represented the sport as best as possibly could.
And people were saying na, bakit artista? Dapat hindi yan daming critics. I mean, there's nobody has the hold of mixed martial arts. Anybody should be able to do mixed martial arts. So what kung artista sila? Diba? And remember, I did that also. So more eyes were on MMA because of that. Diba? And then, because of that, mas maraming fighters napansin. If the industry becomes bigger, all the fighters can get better, get better support. So, diba? But after that fight, nakita ko si Kiko naka-block down sa labas. Same thing with Baron, diba?
Sa labas after they went out.
Sa dressing room nila. Bulag na sila.
Grabe, well, I'm sure they're gonna remember that for the rest of their lives. Well, and also ngayon, dati hindi ko naman kilala si Kiko Matos eh. Artista pala yan. Pero ngayon, pag sinabi mo, may recall.
Now he has a TV show and he has movies now and everything. I'm really, really, good. I mean, he's a good kid. He trains hard, takes care of his family. So, how much of that yung event na yun was an act?
Okay. Was the animosity real? Di ba, pag nag-away kayo, tapos na yun eh. Pero parang they had to just carry on.
Okay, they wanted to actually fight again. Baron actually went inside the press con once again and was trying to do it again with Kiko. But it didn't materialize because I think they had some health concerns for Baron during that time. But then, it's I don't know if people want to see that. Actually, what people wanted to see more was Trillanes versus our friend Robin.
Anyway, so...
Or
Tulfo Brothers.
Tulfo Brothers, mga ganyan. So a lot of people were saying, sila na lang. And then...
So nakikita mo itong mga nagko-comments na to.
Yeah, people would say na, ito na lang, dami ng...
Oo nga, no? Okay, kasi even in, for those people na parang would criticize, this is just a money grab yung nangyari niya. Sa UFC, ginagawa rin naman nila yun.
Okay, after I did that, there were several other promotions around Asia that got actors and actresses to do that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, so that's the thing is when you do something new or for the first time in the Philippines, everybody will try to bring you down. But you know what? Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Diba? What people say about you is none of your business. What people say or think about you is none of my business.
Yeah, parang don't tell me what I can do, diba?
Exactly.
Well, definitely you embody that trait kasi I don't know, may mga ibang MMA organizations pa ba sa Pilipinas?
Yes, there are a lot of
yung smaller organizations.
Yeah, there's a lot of smaller ones, and then right now we support everybody. It's not like before. Uy, bakit ka na dyan?
Okay.
We all support each other. In the end, the space this is big enough for everybody.
Mhm.
Hindi porke yung may promotion dito, di wala na to.
Mhm.
It's not like that. I mean, people said when UFC would go here, mawawala ang URCC. Wait,
Oh,
we became bigger.
Mm.
Diba? And we're having our event next week, Saturday, September 29.
Oh, yeah.
URCC Colossal. The main event there will be Do Gyum Lee going up against Mark Striegel for the belt.
Can you pull that up, Kayo? Yung meron kaming ano, mga pop-ups.
Oh, wow.
Mga, di ba? Parang JRE talaga. Ayan, no? Colossal. Colossal in Araneta, no?
Yeah, Araneta.
Wow. So that's
That's Mark Striegel.
returning.
Yeah, well, Mark Striegel, has been training really hard. If you look at his, follow him on Facebook and Instagram. Same with Do Gyum Lee. These two guys are ripped and ready to go. We're also going to have a 3-on-3 bout for the first time, an international bout. Team Korea is going to be up against Team Philippines. 3 versus 3.
Oo nga. What's the first, ano ba yun? This guy, Sugar Ray.
Yeah, Sugar Ray.
May na 3-on-3 siya, diba?
Yeah.
Was that the first one? Or?
Yeah, that was the first one. We used to do this format before underground, 5 versus 5. So we used to have a lot of fun doing that. Imagine 5 versus 5.
Oh,
Boom, ganun, sarap. And we're doing it here also. And then of course, when we first came up, a lot of people are saying, "Oy, bakit ganyan?" Usual. We don't care.
Well, ginagawa rin sa iba yan I think mga Russians.
This is what the Filipinos have to is when we do something new, when a Filipino does something new for the first time, everybody criticizes it. Especially if they haven't seen it before done in the US.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hindi ginagawa sa US. Hindi tama yan or something. Hindi dapat ganun. There's so many innovators here in the Philippines that you have to listen to.
Meron pa nga mga armor di ba? Yung mga knights, grabe.
Hindi tayo abot sa ganyan.
Pero pwede tayo arnis, tunay na arnis. Paano how would you pull that off?
Okay, I actually want that to happen. With stick fighting and everything, because the formats that we have now, they don't really embody the true art of arnis, diba? So, but the thing is also, how can I be able to show that on TV when I'm hitting another guy with a stick in the head? Diba? So, there's a lot of pros and cons you have to consider. Kasi pag naka-head gear naman, baduy.
Wala na. At saka hindi mo masyado, ano na yung effect ng...
Diba? Nothing. So, we're experimenting with that. But when we were younger, we with my trainer and my training partner, Sixto Carlos, Dr. Sixto Carlos. We did a lot of sparring with live stick and everything. So we've discovered that it hurts. There can be blood right away, but it's not as dangerous as people think.
Okay.
But if you get hit in the head with a rattan stick, it doesn't necessarily mean that it will crack.
Really?
Our head is harder than our head's really hard.
Sa bagay, no? A stick, ano bang tawag doon? Yung an stick is hindi man mabigat yun diba?
Yeah, the rattan stick.
Yeah.
It's more. We use that for its resilience. So it's durability and resilience. Because when you hit, it doesn't crack right away.
And it's really popular now, especially in the US, in Hollywood. It's
True.
always being utilized in films.
True. I actually, the US Navy SEALs actually flew me to their camp in San Diego, so I could teach the Navy SEALs stick and knife fighting.
Wow.
So talagang, they acknowledge that Filipinos are the best in the world for knife fighting, and we should continue to export our talents that way. Yung mga real knife fighters, hindi yung mga kew-kew lang na.
At saka meron tayong yung mga knives natin, lethal talaga na.
Yes.
Grabe. Ay, nasa bed. Ito, karambit. Ang lapit nito di ba? The design of the karambit. Parang, wow. At saka, you hold it like this, di ba? Nasa ilalim.
Or you hold it this way.
That one.
Yeah,
That
this
way.
way.
Okay.
So, now, well, this is not my preference, this one, but then the reason why the blade is like this, it's curved. And we were playing with this in the 90s. The reason why it's curved this way is because when you cut, the person automatically pulls away so they can cut more. Okay. Now, the problem with the karambit is this. If you dig up all of the soldiers before, like these Roman soldiers, the Vikings and everything, you'll notice that if you check their wounds, they all died because of the puncture wounds, not the slashes. So this is a primarily slashing knife. Okay, it's going to be hard to stab with this.
Yeah.
This is this one. That's why it's not really my preference. Although it does look good, it's very lethal. And of course, if you have one hit and you get him in the throat,
No.
you're good. So
You can get disemboweled by this.
Oh yeah.
Diba?
Well, when it comes to knives, it's always my preference is this.
Oh, okay.
It's always a knife like this. It's my preference. I always go for the the modern stuff. Although I do all these song manipulations and everything, but this is still. I always want all you need is get that that proper puncture wound. It's good.
And have you seen the movie By Bust?
No.
No. Kasi
No, but I heard, I think one of our training partners before was the one who choreographed that. So, what they call it? There are some guys from Bikini Garcia. I'm also an instructor at Bikini Garcia. So they did a lot of this, karambit, so I'm very, very familiar with that.
Wow, okay. So, kasi daming fight scenes doon. Of course, exaggerated yung iba. And, well, si Brandon Vera, ginugulpi niya. May hined kick si Brandon Vera doon na babae.
Brandon, what are you doing?
Brandon! I saw Brandon. Yeah. Next time. I'll have him here. One day. Brandon, look oh. Alvin's here. Anyway, yun, so, di ba, well, speaking of Brandon Vera, parang, I think, him and, what's the other guy's name? Mark Munoz would probably be the biggest names in mixed martial arts, right? So,
Ang ano lang is they're not homegrown.
oh,
Laking states sila. So, we have to get someone from here.
yeah.
Kasi, what do you got? People, how do I say it? If you notice, there's other boxers na hindi kinakapitan ng tao. Pero si Pacquiao, kinakapitan talaga because he's really one of us. Mannerisms, the way he talks, the way yung puso niya nandun. So parang, we can see ourselves in him.
Yeah.
Diba? So, pag galing dito, it's talagang iba. Diba?
So, iba rin talaga si Manny Pacquiao, especially back then. Well, syempre, nagkaroon ng division about what people think about him when he entered politics. Pero back in the day, when he was a pure fighter, di ba?
I'll tell you a story about Manny. Before, we did a TV show with him, Manny, Robin, and Vino Morales called Kamao on ABS-CBN. So we were there. The thing we would do is we would get all of the boxers drunk. We get all the boxers drunk. Tapos the next day, surprise nila si Manny Pacquiao, sasabihin, ang magsusurprise sa kanya, gising, training tayo, takbo. So, si Manny was puyat also. So, yung mga boxers puyat. Pero pagdating ng 5 a.m., Manny Pacquiao wakes all the boxers up. Tara, takbo tayo. Pag takbo, boom! Iwan yung mga boxers.
Talaga?
Pareho silang puyat, everything, pero sa takbuhan, walang iwan na sila. I mean, that's what I thought. Manny was really, really special.
Wow, and may practice at parang bubuhayin niya ni Mayweather.
I mean, so even if you know that it's a little bit of a money thing, of course.
Yeah.
But all of us will still watch it.
Oo nga no?
We're still curious eh. Hindi na papanorin niya. Papanorin natin lahat yun, di ba?
So, speaking of the mga ganyan, di ba the biggest MMA star right now is Conor McGregor.
Yes.
Di ba? So, ngayon ba may Conor McGregor sa URCC or are you dreaming of having a personality like that?
We've had several fighters who had personalities like that. Personality disorder na yun. We had a fighter before that, Carlo Laurel. We do all the messed up stuff, but it was very, very funny. The thing is, he went a little bit off the track that he was supposed to, but it always, isa sa fighters kasi na fight business. If you notice, kahit hindi ka contender, nagkakaroon ka ng laban, di ba? It's the character. So people want to see the character, they want to see the story. They don't really care about your skill. Diba? It's like Conor isn't really the best fighter. There's so many people better than him.
Oh, why?
Why do people always wanna?
Who are you picking?
Nurmagomedov.
Nurmagomedov? Oh, because you're a wrestler.
No, but it's impossible. Nurmagomedov won't just
Smash?
Iba yung...
I'm kind of parang may gut feel ako ng Conor.
If it's, well,
If it's gonna be another Aldo.
or if the fight gods
Mm,
intervene. You know what I mean?
yeah. Pero historically, the wrestler always wins eh. Diba?
If it's, yeah, but then, okay, like this. The thing about Conor is his timing.
Mm-hmm.
His timing is perfect when it comes to boxing.
Mm-hmm.
He's not that fast, but his timing is always good. Diba?
Mm-hmm.
Because even with Aldo,
Mm-hmm.
Aldo actually hit Conor.
Yung nga.
Remember, Aldo actually hit him, but he was just, naunahan lang niya. It's gonna be hard to do that too in Armageddon because Armageddon's a tough Russian.
Yeah.
These guys are, you can't just knock them down.
Why?
These are Russians. Russians don't go down.
I think I'd like to see another classic McGregor moment.
Oh,
Pero, kasi ang sarap eh, di ba?
That's true.
Ang sarap na makita classic yung, like, the way he beat Aldo. That's as classic as it
I
gets
felt
eh.
so sorry for Aldo that
Oo
night.
nga, grabe.
After being, doing that press con na lagi siyang pahiya. I mean, imagine, the press con, kinukuha ni Conor yung belt niya, tapos, it's mine. Gumagano'n siya. Tapos, kawawa, di ba? Tapos ganun pa nangyari. And before that, Aldo was undefeated.
Oo
Diba?
nga eh, for 10 years na
Grabe.
yata or something. Grabe. So, pero, Conor McGregor, as cocky as his personality is, his record, yung ano niya, his performance speaks for itself.
Yes. People were saying about fighters here, you talk like Conor, but you fight like Baron. So, so you gotta make sure that when you talk, you back it up.
Talk like Conor, you fight like Baron. Grabe. Abangan natin ang reply ni Baron. Narinig niya na ba yan?
No, hindi pa. I mean, people keep saying that. I keep saying that, and I see the comments, and it's always like that.
So you read comments naman.
So every now and then,
Uh,
it's it's good entertainment.
Oo nga eh, di ba? It's amazing.
Always reading that.
So, ano pa? Your next event would be on 29,
Yeah,
diba?
29.
Are there any other details?
Yeah. Well, we're still, like, in terms of martial arts in general, so we have September 29, URCC. That's going to be our last big main event for the year.
Mhm.
We started this year off in Beijing, and then we went to the US, also in San Francisco, and we had a lot of bets events. Now it's going to be our last main event for the year before next year's when we go all around the world. That's for the URCC. Now in October, what's happening in October? October is going to be our training month because we're going to be preparing for November 6 to 9, which is where we're hosting the SEA Games. So after that, after we host the SEA Games and we win there, we should Philippines are the best in Southeast Asia. At the end of November 24, 25, we're going to have a jiu-jitsu tournament. It's a Japanese organization that's run. That's going to be held at the Philinvest Mall.
Mhm.
It's called Dumao Jiu-Jitsu. We're going to be there. My two boys will be fighting there also.
Oh, really?
And then on December, we're going to party that style.
Wow. Well, yung mga fighters mo, umiinom pa rin kayo.
Oh yeah. No, kasi when it's time to fight,
Mhm.
when it's training.
Okay.
So what we do is just you have to have balance.
Mhm.
It cannot be all training or all work. You have to have balance. That's why all of the jiu-jitsu logos are a triangle.
Mhm.
So there's a big balance. So once you're too strong and you're just training, the rest of your life suffers also. Or if you're just partying, but you have to balance it out. It's funny because I see, other teams, their instructors get mad at them. Why are you eating this? Why are you doing this? Why are you? And then if you look at the people in the DefTac, yung mga posts na parang lahat pagkain.
Yeah.
So, you have to have balance. It's very, very important.
Are yung bang nutrition are there nutritionists na assigned for Pinoy athletes?
Yes, there's a lot of nutritionists here also, but then ito, like, people hear about a new diet, tapos not ginagaya.
Oo.
What's that latest diet now?
Keto.
Yung intermittent fasting.
Intermittent fasting.
Narinig nila, may all of a sudden, it's fasting. Ba't nangihina? Kasi, intermittent fasting ako. I mean, when you just hear about a new diet tapos ginagaya, I mean, you gotta research more. Diba? I'm not saying it's bad, I'm not saying it's good. I don't know anything about that. My dietitian, my personal dietitian is Ronald McDonald. And Colonel Sanders. He served me well all the time. Like, sa akin, is like anything you do, as long as you do it in moderation, you're fine. Diba? You drink, if you don't, you party, everything, as long as everything is in moderation. Too much of anything is bad. Don't overcomplicate things. I see people counting the calories. I mean, if you're cutting weight, sige, but yeah, no, you should.
Discipline, yun yung bottom line, di ba? So,
like the last time I competed was about 2 years ago in Tokyo, Japan. 6 months yung minute.
Wow.
It's very hard in my life. Very hard.
Paano ka tumanggi ng drink?
Hindi ka lumabas.
Hindi ka talaga lalabas.
It's hard, di ba? Everyone's drinking in front of you. Mahirap yun. So, when it's training time, it's training time.
6 months ka kung mag-train for a fight, for a tournament.
Siyempre, because if I go in and I don't win gold, sabihin na, salita ka ng salita, hindi ka pala magaling. Gold. So I have to, but URCC founder ka, first Filipino black belt, tas talo. Diba? Kaya naman yun, diba? So I have to train hard.
Tama.
So, to really train hard. And the last one, that was one of the best days of my life because I was able to win gold in Japan in front of all of my students and my family. That was the best thing. And represent our country that way.
Are you? Do you have plans of representing the Philippines in SEA Games, Asian Games?
No, I'm going to be the coach for everybody there.
Coach.
Yeah. Then next year, if my schedule frees up, maybe I fight one more time in the Masters, get my world championship, and then I'll just concentrate on coaching.
How about yung mga Abu Dhabi?
ADCC?
ADCC.
Yeah. The ADCC, we have to qualify for that. Okay. The ADCC, you have to qualify for that. Okay, so there is an ADCC qualifiers held here sa Philippines. Turns out fake pala yun.
Yeah.
Oo, may mga foreigners pumunta pa dito.
Tapang naman
Can you imagine, nakalagay ADCC tryouts. So everybody tried out, we had people here expecting to go to Abu Dhabi. It was fake.
So what happened? Buhay pa ba yung promoter nila?
They still do tournaments, believe it or not.
Wow! How did they get away with that? Well, obviously they didn't.
I don't know because nobody decided to just report these people that you have an ADCC tournament, it's a qualifiers. When you win, you don't go anywhere.
How about yung real ADCC guys? Why aren't they going here?
No, there's some ADCC guys who have been here. There's a lot of world champions that go in and out of the Philippines to train, to teach, do seminars. They just don't get the publicity that they deserve. But if you look at the jiu-jitsu of the Philippines, taas ng level. Taas ng level of Philippine jiu-jitsu.
Parang never mong if you're gonna ask a common Pinoy to magsabi ng mga sports, pang ilan kaya yung jiu-jitsu and wrestling? Siguro, swerte pa nga kung alam nila na may ganun, no?
Exactly.
Diba?
So, it's up to us to be able to promote it. So, sometimes I play too many hats. But promoter, teacher, train, everything. So, maybe I should let go of a few things so I can actually other things get promoted better. Because I want our grappling arts to flourish also. The daming mga galing, not just in my team, the other teachers are also very, very good. Even if they get second and third place all the time, they're very, very good guys. So, we have to make sure that the industry becomes bigger. Ang huwag na nangyari is the people who are in charge. You have to be responsible and you have to be fair. Okay, you guys don't want luck. When you guys have referees that cheat, when you have when you have bad calls that happen all the time, you have to be able to be responsible and and give a good tournament. Kasi if you win, but you know there's something behind your win that wasn't, exactly legit, then it's not really a win. It doesn't count. Diba? You'll be cheating no one but yourself.
Totoo. Nalimutan ko yung tatanong ko.
Sorry.
Hindi, okay lang. Well, eto, madaming nag-hi sa'yo. Madami. Si Liam.
Oh, Liam boy, what's up? Aren't you supposed to be studying? Why are you watching? Why are you on Facebook? You're supposed to be studying, Liam.
Mike Sison. Everybody. Oh, ayun. Teka. Yun pala. So, this, yung isang nag-stun ko with the Gracie and Jiu-Jitsu teachings is the anti-bullying philosophy nila. Diba parang, how would you, diba, a lot of people are studying martial arts for self-defense, diba? And a lot of those reasons, ang root niyan is because they got bullied. So, ano yung philosophy ng DefTac about ganyan?
Okay, it's like this because people are trying to, in the schools, they're trying to say na, don't be a bully. They try to, get rid of the bully. Sometimes when you're a kid, it's your only way of, expressing yourself being a bully.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we do martial arts, you have that certain confidence that says that even if this guy, messes with you, whatever, you'll be able to take care of yourself. Gracie Jiu-Jitsu had the Gracie Academy under Horian, then later on Hiron and Henner have a very, very good bully-proof program.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's really, really good. I mean, they deal with all sorts of situations. I'd recommend it to anybody. We do that here also for our kids, but our kids never had when their kids train in that, they don't worry about getting bullied. They just don't.
Oh my.
We've had kids who were bullied before,
Mm-hmm.
but then after they trained with us, they gained their confidence,
Yeah.
and they were never bullied again. It's not because they had to fight them or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes a bully will not mess with you. What do you call that? If he knows that something might happen to him.
Mm-hmm.
Diba? If he knows his repercussions or he knows papalag ka. Diba? Bullies kasi, they thrive on the people na kaya nila.
Mm-hmm.
When they see or they sense na hindi ka nila kaya, they won't. Just like in anything else, yung mga hold-upper dito.
Mm-hmm.
Mga hold-upper, kidnapper, they don't worry about the consequence. They think they can get away with it. That's why they do it.
So basically, pag nabully ka, parang malabo yata. Naisip ko parang, you have to look into yourself then.
Well, ito, I got bullied when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I was about 2nd or 3rd grade. I think one of the 4th grade or 5th grade guys kept messing with me.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, pinami ang suntukan.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, patay. Eh, di ba pag higher bash, magbubugbog ka kagad. And because I was so scared of him, I had to fight him.
Mm-hmm.
So, buti lang, I was able to mount it, so sinupakan ko siya.
Mm-hmm.
After that, yes.
Uh-huh.
I was in my kids' school. Was also my school before, and I showed them. Look, you remember? I was showing you that exact same spot where where I got into my first fight because I was bullied.
Mm-hmm.
But then, because of that, I guess if you're someone who's bullied, all you have to do is show that you won't accept that.
Yeah.
And give them something to. Even if you get your butt kicked or whatever, as long as you fought back, they'll think twice about messing with you again.
Yeah, and usually pag pumalag ka, hindi ka nababalikan.
Yes.
So,
Kasi bully, ninigurado din yan eh.
oo nga
Mas mabubuli lang yan pag kaya niya eh.
Part of at least resistance pa rin yan eh.
Yes.
Yun ang gusto nila. Anyway, so, yun. Do you have any other messages that you want to share?
Okay, yeah, well, okay, first to the Jiu-Jitsu community, I hope that from now on we can all work to make sure that we send the best. No bullshit politics. Okay, let's send the best. Okay, not because one guy's your friend, one guy's your teammate. We all saw what happened at the Asian Games. That is an absolute disgrace what just happened there. We sent people who all of us knew would never win. And we used government resources to send them. And I told you everybody. I even showed all the officials that you guys have no chance in hell of winning here, and you still sent them. Talo pa rin. When we could have sent 5 guys who would have been sure gold medalists. Let's please make sure this does not happen again. Next, for the mixed martial arts community, let's continue to keep working together. I'm very, very happy with the strides. There's more promotions, there's more awareness for mixed martial arts. Sky's the limit. As long as we work together, all out there, we'll achieve all of our goals.
Ayos. Oh, so that's it.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for indulging me and everything.
Sorry, I talked too long. I sometimes.
Well, the longer the better. So yun, like I said, this is a great honor.
There. You see yourself there?
Your first podcast guesting.
Beautiful eyes, beautiful eyes. There you go.
What's your name?
This is Ayel.
Baby,
Okay.
can I be on
Okay.
1, 2, 3? Baby, ayaw.
There you go.
There you go. A future world champion.
Oh, yeah, that's what
First appearance in the Powerful Komiksman podcast.
Yeah, that's our first podcast ever.
Yeah. Well, I hope to have you again,
Yeah.
Mr. Aguilar. Anytime you want to send your guys over here. If you ever need an avenue for MMA and MMA fighters, wrestling, whatever, this platform is open.
Yeah, I'd also like to thank you for letting me being able to talk about our industry.
Yeah.
It's very, very important. This is our industry is something that we've all worked hard for, and
Mhm.
something we love. And thank you for giving us this avenue.
Yeah, and well, thank you for fighting for our athletes. And I'm sure,
that's going to be a long fight, but we will win in the end.
yeah, and I'm sure a lot of our athletes that are watching and are gonna see this episode will be able to appreciate and see. Wow, there's this guy. We have a champion.
Let's hope so.
Okay, with that,
All right.
again, thank you, Alvin.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for having me over. Thank you.
Powerful Comics Man podcast. Mr. Alvin Aguilar. Signing off.